Hey guys, welcome back to Beach and Fishing. Paul here with you today. Beach and Fishing, my site and channel aimed at everything to do with fishing, whether it be surf, kayak, bass, lake. Bass is a type, isn't it? Whatever type of fishing that you're looking to do. And today this video is looking at my Watersnake ASP 24Lb Kayak trolling motor review. So this is the Watersnake ASP Kayak motor. What I'm going to do in this video is I'll just very quickly run you through it here, what it is. Then I will take you out and show you what it looks like attached to how I've attached it to the kayak. And then I'm about to head out and take it for a spin. So we'll get the GoPro out and we will show you how it works in the water. Straight off the bat, it's probably one of the smallest trolling motors that you can get. This one is I wouldn't call it a cheap model, but it's a lot cheaper than some of the others I've found, mainly for the fact that it doesn't have a lot of features to it. It's only 2-speed, forward and reverse. It's very small. It's got a couple of tillers on there, so it's got this one. If it's transom mounted, this one has that's the tiller that you use. It pops in and out. Because mine's mounted to a bracket, it comes with this larger tiller, which you can get, and to be honest, I would recommend getting this if you're on a smaller kayak. I'm only on a 8.5 foot kayak, and it's a bit hard to get used to the steering on it, I will say. But the bracket goes in the side here. 24-inch rotor shaft, a two blade propeller. One issue I do have with this one is these propellers are very flimsy. To be honest, I haven't looked at many of them, so I can't tell you what the others are like. But I will be having to order a few replacements to this. I think I've only used this one once, and it is already chopped up. If I hit a sandbar in it, and it's all chopped up. But apart from that, I'll explain more when I'm out there. But I've used this a couple of times in the kayak. It runs really well on the 8.5 foot model. If you're going up to about the 10-foot model, I've seen a guy out where I go on a 10-foot model, and it works quite well for him. If you're heading, I wouldn't use this one in the ocean or anything like that. I'd go a larger model for that. But for what I use it for in a tidal estuary, I bought it because where I go in the estuary when it's on an outgoing tide, where I launch is the only place I can launch. You can't get up further to launch in where I go, and if the tide's outgoing, you can't paddle against it. It's too fast to paddle against. So the kayak motor makes it very handy for me. It means I can fish in the kayak at any time instead of having to wait for the incoming tide, float around up there while the tide changes and float back out, which is nice and peaceful, but it just severely reduces the amount of time I can that I can fish in the kayak. So to be honest with this one, and just to round this little part out, I do like this one. It does work very well for me. I keep covering my face with the tiller. It does work very well for me. It does everything I need. It pushes my 8.5 foot kayak with me on it up very easily up the water. If the current isn't too strong, the slow speed option I have trolled with it, and it does work that as well. The only real concerns that I have with it is to do with this bracket. The bracket is hand screwed on. I'll show you on the vessel once I get it out there. When you go off, the bracket does twist. So it's that way. It does twist with twist backwards with the power of the motor. So I do have to have my hand on it to stop it from twisting. It's the only problem I have. Unless I want to spanner tighten that bracket, it's going to be a problem moving forward. The only reason I haven't modified it too much is because it's also, that method also provides protection. If I hit a sandbar, it does pop out. It does move it around and stops me damaging anything underneath. So I think it's a trade-off there. That's my only real concern with it, is the bracket mounting. The transom mount might be a bit stronger, and it's only 2-speed. So if you want something with more speed or more reverse speeds, then this one isn't going to do it for you. But as you'll see when we get out there, it goes quite well. I have it attached to a 20 amp, I think this is a 22 amp hour motor. The specs for that one says it runs pulls anywhere between 6 and I think it was 15 amps. Let me check the post. It doesn't say that one, but look, our runtime max 3.8 hour, minimum 1.5 hours. So what's that on 20 amp? You know, about 10 amps an hour, 10 amps basically when it runs at full tilt. I ran at full tilt for around at least half an hour going up there the other day against a strong current, and when I got home the battery hadn't taken much out of it. So you'll get, well, the guy who sold me the motor reckons he has his on and he's run it for 6 hours non-stop to test it. That I wouldn't doubt that at all. I think that would be well and truly okay. You don't run them the whole time anyway, so I would be happy with that. Okay, let's get out on the kayak and see how we go with it. See you then. Hey guys, welcome back. So here I am out at the water's edge. I'm all ready to go. I've got my life jacket on because I'm by myself. And I just, as I said in the previous video, I just want to show you how I've got my trolley motor connected to my kayak. So you can see here that I have it on a bracket. I had to screw that bracket into, I took a rod holder off, so you can see the rod holder on that side there where I had similar one on this side. I had to take it off, go in through the hatch there and hold underneath and screw that on. So that's attached by a bracket that is rotatable, and this bracket here, so the motor can move up and down like that. Now that is the one problem that I do have with this, is this is all fairly strongly hand tightened. I will get a towel out and tighten it a bit more in a second, but when you turn the motor on, this all moves, and I find it a little bit frustrating. You sort of have to hold the motor in place. So you can see that that's attached there. I've got a bracket there, so if I move that up and then tighten that up, you can now see that that is held out of the water. So that's how I move that up and down. It'll sit up like that whilst I paddle up, because it's an incoming tide here today where I'm about to go, so that will sit up like that while I float up. And then once I get up there, I will be able to, actually the tide looks like it's going out, I might need it straight away. I will be able to show you it in action. So that's how it's attached. Let's get out there and check it all out. See you then. Hey guys, okay, so I've got this out, we're out in the water here, I've got my motor up running. You can see it's running quite smoothly. I'm at full tilt here and I'm running against the tide but with the wind. It's a little bit windy and choppy here, so you can see how it's moving quite well. If you look against the side of the bank there, you can see I'm moving quite well. I'll just turn it off just to show you see how it bounced down. Now it's a bit hard with the camera and the motor, but if I turn on straight up full bore, see how that jumped up? And you probably can't see it, but I'm actually having to hold it down quite strongly. Although that said, when I cruise along, if I just rest my arm on it like that, it goes along quite well. I showed you through all the specs when I went through it in the office. I'm not going to show you too much about it now. I just wanted to show you it moving. It works. I'm in an 8.5 foot, as I said, it's moving very smoothly. I don't know if you can see down the back there, I have got to sort out the battery. I've just got it sitting in the back there, so obviously if I get bumped off here or lose my balance and fall over, I am going to lose my battery. So I do need to bracket that in. But apart from that, yep, look, the 24-pound thrust, I wouldn't go the 18. This is going me along quite well. I'm not sure how well the 18 would go. I'm on a smaller vessel as well, 8.5 foot, as I said. But if you're looking for a good cost-effective motor, only 2-speed, but it only cost me $150 on sale. I think they're about 180 plus the battery, obviously. Watersnake electric motor. I really am very happy with it. This is about the 3rd time I've used it, and it's given me no reason to dislike it. So thanks for that, guys. Hope that was helpful. If you're watching within YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel below. That way I can keep you up to date with things like my new motors. If you're watching within the post, if you have any questions about the motor, or you use a different one, what works well for you, what doesn't work so well, please comment below. Would love to hear from you. That's it, guys. I'm about to go and do some fishing, see how we go. Okay, guys, see ya.